Welcome to Midlife Matters. I'm Marie, and each week I'm joined by my friends Julie and Mindy to talk about all the topics keeping women in the middle years up at night. Today we're talking about overconsumption. Are we buying too much stuff? Are our homes filled with too many things? Join us as we share the ways we buy too much and what we're doing to cut back. Let's get started. Listeners, today we're talking about overconsumption. Are we buying too much stuff? Are our homes filled with too many things? Ouch. Who brought this topic? Does this mean that I need to wait to click order on my Amazon cart until after this episode? Julie, you brought us this topic. We are all pointing fingers at you.
Guilty.
So why don't you tell us why you brought us this topic?
Well, I guess I brought it because I felt convicted by it. It was, I have all these influencers that show up on my feed. And then I was also getting the counterbalance, the underconsumption core is what they called it. And I thought, wait a minute, these are direct opposites. Okay, where do I fall? So it was just kind of a good self-evaluation. Thought it would be a fun topic.
Mm-hmm. And you said that your social media feed is filled with constant displays of shopping hauls, HAULS.
Yeah.
And I don't usually think of them in terms of hauls, but just that word makes it seem like, man, you are just packing it in. You have a U-Haul of stuff that you bought.
Yes.
So anyways, Mindy, how did you feel about this topic when you heard Julie say? Were you like hiding your stuff behind your back or?
I was like, gosh, am I convicted? Does it make me want to go shopping more? Am I missing out on something? What are people buying?
I know. So you found this really cool Instagram reel. So why don't you describe that to us?
Yeah, and this is where I first thought this would be fun because it really made me think. It was a great visual. It was a video of very, elegant, posh people walking through the streets of New York City. They look like runway models, and they were all wearing what they overconsumed. So like a woman had a trail of 50 purses on a chain, dragging behind her, or a man had 50 hats stacked up on his head, or a woman had, 10 pair of sunglasses on all at the same time, or I can't remember what else, but or dragging some shoes into the elevator, and it just made you think, that of course they looked ridiculous. You wouldn't wear it all at once, but it made me think, what if what I consume were on display? Would I be proud of that or embarrassed by that?
What would I look like?
It was really a clever way. Like even just one woman had like 100 barrettes in her hair. That seems like a very trivial thing. I mean, that's not breaking anyone's bank, but can you actually use 100 barrettes? I mean, I guess if you wear them all at the same time, or maybe each one 3 days a year. But when you really start thinking about, do I need 100 of something? Probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
And also from another angle, I thought never before have we been so aware of other people's consumption as on social media. And I think that's intentional, of course, because when we see what other people are buying, I think our consumption, that's what they're hoping our consumption will go up as well.
Well, it is kind of, shocking sometimes. Like if you really step back and recognize if you follow any influencer or several influencers, you'll see them do a try-on session, or they'll show you the Amazon haul or the Target haul or whatever haul that they have just hauled. And, it's amazing. Like they do it all. And I always wonder, like, do they actually wear that? Like, do they have time to wear all those things? Because like the three of us talk about like never getting dressed up. Maybe once or twice a week, we're looking cute, but otherwise, no. And so I just think, well, yeah, that's amazing. But there's always new stuff, like the rate at which these hauls are happening. And I'm like, when do you wear these things? When? Because I don't have time to wear the things I bought 10 years ago.
I kind of wonder if they keep them all or if they're just returning them,
Do
or
they
because
just
they're
return
getting
it?
paid. Maybe they're getting paid to shop. I don't know. But It is a lot because I follow a few of them that I'll admit I find them kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But it's daily.
It is overwhelming, and particularly if they're wearing like really nice stuff, like nicer than what you would wear to work. Like, how many black tie events or like weddings do you
Right.
go to in a year?
Yeah.
Or 5 years?
Exactly.
But it's easy to look at those people in quotes and say, oh, well, I'm not overconsuming because I only own, 2 things that I could wear to a wedding. But if you asked us, Julie, to look at what we overconsume, and that gets a little more uncomfortable. So we thought it would be funny to talk about what do we overconsume? And it might not be clothing. I mean, it might be some clothing, but it might be other items. And the very first thing that came to my mind was tennis shoes. So one of my college daughters, she just came home last week and she came in to talk to me in my closet and she picks up a pair of tennis shoes and she goes, another new pair of tennis shoes. I knew it, Mom. Every time I see you, you have a new pair of tennis shoes. And and she's told me that before. And now I kind of am uncomfortable around her. Like, I don't want to wear a new pair of shoes because she might notice them. And I don't really think that it's overconsumption. And I was comforted by this. So I took
Definitely not.
I took a screenshot of this morning when I was looking at the comments. And this is why I have so many tennis shoes. This person was also accused of that. And they said, honestly, I don't see the issue with this if they're being used until they're not usable while being mindful. Shoes last only so many miles and could be rotated through different grip needs: trail running, pavement, track, gardening. I thought that's so true. My shoes usually start out as very absorbent and they're going to be like my high impact walking shoes. Then they get a little worn out and then they're my around the house because I don't like to wear bare feet. Then they're around my house keeping me comfortable shoes. Then they'll graduate to like mowing the lawn shoes. Like they go down a path. I'm not saying every pair of sneakers does that, but a lot of them do. So it might look like there's a lot, but they have different uses. And Julie, you're not buying this reasoning because you're laughing at me.
I just how long this justification is.
She just needs to be understood, okay? Let's just listen. Okay. Let's let her tell us all the reasons for all the shoes.
I'll quit laughing.
So that Lauren will quit making fun of me.
So when do you actually get rid of a pair then, Marie? What do they have to be like when they...
That's a tricky question, Mindy, because believe me, I want to reach the point. Okay, so the threshold in my house to get rid of something is so high. Steve literally will not get rid of a shoe until his toe has worn through it. Well, I might wear my gardening sneakers 10 years and my toe won't run through it. And not that Steve is even looking when I get rid of something, but that example makes me feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? So I usually, if I buy a new pair, I try to get rid of the very oldest pair. But I still would not want them trailing behind me.
No, I get that because shoes move out to the garage. Like I just got new running shoes, but if I mow the grass in them, the white sole turns green. Yes. So I can't do that. So I have to have my old ones, that I don't care about. So I get that.
Right. Yeah, me too. I totally understand this.
Okay. All right. I've revealed one of my secrets. Now I want to hear what you guys overconsume.
Well, thinking about the video, I would be walking down the street with multiple jackets, raincoats, outerwear.
You would, Julie. Now that you say that, I never thought about it before.
Outerwear is my thing. I can't resist. And really no other clothing item except outerwear. And then I would be pulling a wagon full of soap and candles in one hand. And then I would have, on my other hand, I would have a stack of blue and white plates.
Oh, that's true too.
Oh, you look so beautiful in this picture, I'm imagining.
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah. But I could go into how I rotate my soaps and candles and I use my blue plates. I decorate with.
Yeah.
But I won't.
Okay, well, let me just ask, when can you get rid of a bar of soap?
Well, when it's,
a sliver?
Yeah, I don't have to wait till it's a slipper.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, Mindy, you're up.
I immediately had 3 things come to mind. All right, I thought about Joey Tribbiani from the Friends episode where he puts on all of the clothes. So for me, my Joey, all the clothes would be summer dresses mixed with all of the sweaters. It's sweaters. And I'd have a keg with me of coffee. Like literally,
That's funny.
I would be drinking
That's
coffee.
true.
Coffee. Look at me. Every single time I'm on here with you guys, I'm drinking my coffee. And so, yeah, it's the summer dresses, the sweaters, and the coffee. And I literally just bought a new sweater last week, and I was like telling myself, you don't need any more sweaters. You don't need any more sweaters. I go to Target. In the workout section, there's this cream sweater. It's super soft. It gets me every time. Oh, but it's so soft. I can just imagine this, and it's got navy stripes on it. And I'm like, oh, I'm a sucker. It went home with me. And I hurried and washed it so I couldn't return it.
Take those tags off immediately.
And now I tell myself again, no more sweaters, Mindy. No more.
And do you move out a sweater when you bring a new one in?
No.
Okay. So what would it take for you to get rid of a sweater?
A fire.
Funny.
A literal house fire. I don't know. This is an issue. They're so soft. I look at all of them. I'm like, you just can't part with any one of you. They all have a purpose and a reason and an exact temperature and cloud in the sky that I want to wear them for.
That is too funny. Yeah, and it's so easy to say about someone else's overconsumption. Like, well, you just have too many. Like, that's too many. You can't wear all those, even in the winter months.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and in the summer, you need a sweater even more because of the air conditioning. So
I do. Like, I'm dressed cute right now, but only because I had to go to the pregnancy center this morning. No, as soon as we're done, I'm hitting the sweaters.
Well, that brings up a good point. I think it's hard to tell someone else what is overconsumption because if we're all honest, we're going to all feel really good about our lifestyle that we've chosen, like what size house, how much money, how many cars, what you spend on a car, how many clothes you have, and then say we're at a good level. And then anybody that does more is overdoing it. They're in the wrong. I mean, I think that's probably how everybody thinks. So it's really hard to tell somebody else they're over consuming. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. I think though, Mindy, and Julie and I recently moved and you've moved many times. And I've found this with my own parents, whenever they move, they swear off buying anything after a move. They are not going to buy one thing because they've just moved it all. So if you ever want a good look at how you overconsume and what you can't stand about yourself, put your house up for sale and have to move.
You are so right. You are so right about that because more stuff brings more stress. They are in equal balance to one another. And you know that very, very much so when you move. And so I will say, Bryce and I have learned a thing or two about adding furniture, adding stuff. We are very aware of that in our home. And I'm thankful that in this house, we haven't really bought any new furniture. It's all the same furniture. And it brings us a lot of joy to have the same furniture.
And if you want to bring that to a whole new level, have your friends come over and pack for you. And it's really painful. It's like, how many candles do you need? How much soap do you need?
It's Julie.
Repack all that stuff.
Oh, buddy.
But the thing is if someone came and packed me up, they would be like, how many books do you need, Brie? Like, I put books on my list because I love to decorate with books. And on the West Haven Buy Sell Trades site a couple of weeks ago, somebody had old books that they were getting rid of from decorating, and they had them priced at 25 cents each. So 25 cents each. So I didn't even count them. I just said, I'll take them all. So I ran over And I think there were like 32 books. And initially, I thought to myself, and my daughter-in-law and my daughter are going to laugh, I thought, oh, I'll keep a few, and then I'll give them as gifts to them because they love books. You guys, I found a place for every single one of those 32 books.
That's impressive.
And so then I didn't have any that I needed to give away as gifts.
And see, I'm not laughing now because I totally approve of this purchase.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, books are great. Yeah, it's on an approved list.
Okay, is that really overconsumption? I mean, I paid 25 cents each. So it's not like I spent a lot, but if I had to move them all and I had to pack them and I had to take them with me, I would be thinking, why do I have so many books?
It is easier to justify if it's not costing much, you know, like it monetarily. Now, when you're
Costs you in other ways.
It can. It really can. You could throw your back out trying to move all those.
Yeah. So anyways, if you're honest with yourselves, listeners, I promise that there's something that you are over-consuming too. Okay. All right. Well, what is going on? Why is overconsumption seemingly glamorized in our culture? So nobody other than like this video that I've seen on Instagram has been making me feel bad about overconsumption. They're trying to get me to buy more things. So, like, what's going on with that?
I don't know. The way that made me think of some videos like the Get Ready With Me or a day in the life videos or luxury travel lifestyle content. All those people showcasing their massive collections just seems to be a way of normalizing it. Like you can begin to think this is just how people live. That when they get ready in the morning, they have 50 shades of blush and, 14 mascaras and all these hair products. And I don't know. I just feel like it's a way to normalize it. It's kind of subtle. Because I'm not going to say I hate watching some of it. It's kind of mesmerizing.
Right. It's interesting, though. I think back to my younger self. Like, how would young Mindy have reacted to these videos? I remember reading the 17 magazine for makeup tips and hair tips and, clothing tips. And I would look at, different outfit inspirations. And so my resource was so limited at that time. I loved it. Now, I'm too tired and old now to really love these things. I'm way too practical. I'm a little more self-aware. I'm really comfortable in my sweater with my coffee, I really am. And so, but I think, I'm not as impressionable, though there are other things that I am impressionable about. And so I have to be aware of that. But yeah, these try-on sessions and everything, I'm like, gosh, that looks like a lot of work to keep up with. And, like trying to put all that together, it's kind of exhausting. Putting all the, the makeup on, how girls do like the highlighter, they mark their faces up with all the different shades and blend it. I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like a lot of work, They're like, they're doing a painting every day. I'm not good with art, So it's wild to me. And I do wonder how I would have felt had I been younger seeing these things.
Yeah.
But
it does seem like well, it might be easy to think it targets younger women, or maybe younger women would be more easily affected, or maybe they're the primary target. But I'm seeing all these, influencers that say, affordable clothing for 50 and up. There's a ton of those for midlife. And they'll give their height and their weight, which I appreciate because then you kind of know, like, would this be for me or not? So. Yeah, I think it probably is creeping into our age group too.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I was thinking that why is it seemingly glamorized? I feel like it's a very simple reason because people make money getting other people to buy things. So the manufacturer of the clothing wants these influencers, so they're going to pay them to make it look glamorous. And the people that make the clothing also want to make a living. It all comes down to money. If it wasn't financially profitable, then they wouldn't do it. If it was more financially profitable to encourage people to be minimalists, then everyone would encourage people to do that. But that's not financially profitable because then you're not buying anything and nobody up and down the food chain is making any money off you. So I definitely feel like that's really the main reason. Now, why we fall for it could be because we are depressed and it's a coping mechanism, or we're trying to be happy, or, it could be something with us. But I think the main reason it's glamorized is to sell.
Yeah. True. I do think, though, like the pervasive message is more is always better, and it equates happiness with acquiring new things. Or even just we're happier if we have more choices, like if there's endless choices. I mean, the term retail therapy is real,
Yeah. Yeah. And we've all talked about, if you hit a point in your day and you're mindlessly scrolling, which happens so easily. And I was thinking back to Julie's advice about getting the timer. Yes. Because it's too easy to just start scrolling. And as soon as you start scrolling, you're going to be hit with an ad. Whether you actually follow this influencer or not, you're going to start to get ads. And the more you see something, the more you remember something. And then you only have so much self-control. So at some point, this idea has been lodged in your head 50 times and you hit buy.
Right. Yeah. No, that's very true. I noticed some of the comments on some of these things were saying like, we need to tell the corporations to stop selling to us. Okay, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Okay, you have to find a way to exercise self-control in your own life. The corporation is going to sell you things as long as you keep buying. That's the very nature of a business.
It's their business.
Supply and demand. Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's right.
If you're waiting for them to quit buying, then you're going to keep on buying.
Yeah, I hate it when they blame the corporations when we're the ones driving it all.
Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also kind of ironic how advertising is inviting us to save by spending, and it's like, get this before it ends, and there's a push, like an urgency to it, like if you notice there's even timers that are like scrolling down because after this is not going to be available. And I mean, I'm guessing it all works.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there used to be one Amazon Prime Day. Now I think there's 2 plus Black Friday. But I mean, that's just one small example. But whenever they run a sale or get you to think that you're saving, of course you're going to be like, well, I've wanted that anyway, so now's the time to buy it. I better pull it quick before it goes up in price.
Yeah.
Right. It's so easy because just the physical act of buying something now is so simple. You don't have to go anywhere. It doesn't have to be during the open hours. Oh, they're always open, they're always available, and it's always at your fingertips. And so creating boundaries for yourself is a little bit trickier. I mean, you really have to try to separate yourself. But, it's every time you open your phone, if you go to buy groceries, you're going to see other products. Even doing Walmart Plus, one of the things I like about it is I'm not in the store mindlessly walking around, which is what I used to do at a store. Well, now you're walking the aisles on your phone, which is a lot easier. And they're prompting you with things, oh, if you like this, you might like these 25 things. I'm like, ooh, I do. That would look great together. So I just think that, setting up your own boundaries, just being aware of what's happening so that you can set up some boundaries, because I do Walmart Plus so that I can limit myself. But here I am. No, I'm not.
Yeah. I guess they figured that out. You not being in the store, they've got to figure out a way to ramp that.
They're so clever.
Putting that stuff in front of your eyes again in a different way. Yeah.
Yes.
So I told you I had videos, influencers promoting consumption. And then one day I came across an account that was called it used the phrase under consumption core, which I thought was hysterical. And this girl had a reel and she said, why do we get so obsessed with buying things? She goes, it's just not normal to own 50 pairs of shoes. It's not normal to have 20 bottles of skincare. It's not normal to buy a new phone every time the new one comes out. It's not normal to have, 25 water bottles.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went on to say, her message is more that why isn't it cool to look after the things that you already have and to consume life, not possessions? And, like you said, Marie, we all know why, because that doesn't make money.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe this person has a following because that's, the advertisers first find people that have large followings.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting how she's going to make money with this message.
Sure.
You know?
I do really appreciate her message. This is an example from my everyday life of where I'm tempted to overconsume. Okay, so it's no secret that I play a lot of pickleball. And a lot of people dress cute, like they have cute pickleball clothes. So I have a couple pickleball skirts. I have 4, okay? 4 seems to be plenty. I mean, do I need more than 4? I mean, even if I wore them all, I could wash them easily. And they're pretty neutral colors, so you can wear them multiple times. And then I probably have about 4 tank tops that I actually like. I have more tank tops that I should just get rid of because I don't really like them anymore. But I probably have 4 tank tops that I like, which actually is a perfectly fine number. But there is this temptation, and this is not like pickleball influencers are standing up and saying, Marie, buy this outfit. It's like, oh, well, that was a really cute. Maybe, I don't know. I should probably get something like that. But I don't need it, okay? I don't need it. And then if I have that, then I'm not going to wear something else that I already own. Like, I find myself doing this mental dance of, oh, but that's really cute. But I can't possibly wear all these things. And I feel guilty if I'm not getting the use out of my things. So you don't even have to be on social media to be tempted by overconsumption because you can only wear so much.
Yes. That's really true because I do the same thing with my trainer. I mean, that's her full-time job, so she has really nice workout clothes, and she's always, and I see a lot of them repeated, but I mean, she's wearing them every single day to work out in. And I started working out with her about 10 years ago, and I still have some of the initial yoga pants that I bought when I started with her. Still wear them. And every day I think, gosh, I should probably get some new ones. She probably gets tired of looking these. I mean, I have 3 pair. But I don't. I'm just like, I don't need this. I'd rather buy something else. I just don't need it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not always a message on social media. We have to check ourselves too.
Right.
Like, what do I actually require?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely helped me when I started teaching classes and they wanted us to wear a uniform and we can only wear black leggings and their tank top.
Oh, that's good.
I was like, oh, you're really cramping my style here. Like I have all these cute clothes I want to wear, but literally it limits me. I'm like, I can't wear the cute stuff. And so I'm more than happy to wear those things out. And so the thing is I have things in my closet that are 15 and 20 years old. They're quality things. I love them. They're just classic pieces. But man, I get so excited about new colors and new prints and the florals that are out right now and, things like that. And so one thing I wanted to say though, I think the younger generations are catching on to this faster and I'm trying to catch up is reselling clothes at the rate you're buying clothes. Because there's so many new products hitting the market, I feel like so much faster than ever before. And like there's always new stuff, always. But like there's all these resale sites that are massive and they have a huge following. And I know that even Abby, she doesn't mind buying new things because she's constantly selling stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's where I need to figure out how to get rid of some stuff is if you do have something that's of quality that you're not wearing to be able to sell it and to get some money back out of it. But I mean, I feel like that's just a constant cycle, of buying and selling.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the comments is that one lady said, most often what you're looking for has already been made. It's already out there. So why not look for it there instead of purchasing it new? So that's how I can justify my plate thing, because it's all old.
And you're not paying that much for it.
No,
Yeah.
I'm buying them old and used and,
That's right.
So, but I thought, well, that was a good point to just try to find it elsewhere, kind of make a game out of it,
Right.
Yeah, one of the things she mentioned was an outfit repeat challenge. And I just thought this was really funny that this is countercultural today. And I thought about you, Marie, because
I would win the
while
award.
you would win. No, I'm not saying that because I noticed that, only because you've told me that. Like, whereas I made like more choices than you, Marie, I certainly wear things over and over again. I mean, that's actually how you know I like something is you'll see me in it every time I go somewhere.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. There's something about wearing the same thing for me that's very comforting, or like every morning this season that we're in right now, I get up and put on the exact same shorts and one of 2 t-shirts to walk Clara in. I don't have to think
Mhm.
about them. I'm not wearing them, out anywhere. I'm just walking Clara. And these, if one is in the wash, I'll use the other one.
Mhm.
And it's not even really a sweaty time of year at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So, and then another thing is like, if I'm going to lift my weights upstairs, I will put on this certain pair of shorts and this certain old ugly tank top that I wouldn't wear anywhere else. But for some reason, I save it
Yeah.
to use my workout upstairs in the bonus room. Why? I
Mhm.
don't know, but that says to me, it's time to go lift those weights. And that's the
Right.
only place I'll wear that tank top. But I need to just throw it away.
Yes.
But there's something very ritualistic, I guess is what I'm saying, about
Yeah.
wearing the same outfit.
So you'd like a uniform.
Yes, I would love a uniform. I'd be totally fine with a uniform. I am not looking to express myself with fashion.
Except for a cute pickleball skirt.
Yes,
That's
I
right.
would like to do that.
There you go. I do have those pieces, and I have the dress that I wore to Abby's wedding, and it was a more casual wedding, so it's one that I could actually wear here and there to like a dressier event or whatever. And I have these pieces that I just cannot get rid of, you know.
Mhm.
There's that dress, but then there's things like that, Marie, like your I'm gonna go lift weights clothes. I have a certain old tank top that I love to wear when I come home at night, and a hoodie that I put on, and like these jogger pants. I'm like, that's my at home. I'm done with whatever, you know. And I'm
Uh-huh.
sitting around on the couch, you know, somewhat clean. If I'm dirty, I have another set of clothes that I'll put on. I have a pair of shorts if I'm going to go sit out on the back porch. These are the shorts that I wear out on the back porch to sit in my sun chair.
Yeah.
I mean, they're clothes for certain functions, and then everything else, I'm like, I just need to make myself remember that I have to wear that. You know, you bought that to look cute. Now actually put it on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have bought pants and dresses and skirts that I still have from over 10 years ago. I remember specifically I had one of Molly's friends help me do some shopping around the time that Molly got married, like to have stuff for showers and stuff. And this is their 10-year anniversary, and I am still wearing those dresses.
Mhm.
And I just love it. And yes, they are in style. Now like jeans
Mhm.
tend to go in and out, and
Mhm.
it's not like
Mhm.
I don't ever buy trendy things, but those things are the things that don't last. But even with jeans, I have a drawer full of jeans that I just pull out like, oh, these are back. These
Mm.
are wide
Yeah.
leg, these are skinny, these are
Mhm.
cropped. And I just hold on to them and bring them back.
Mhm.
But I did want to share a really great story, and this is about a listener, and I won't mention her name. I don't think she'd mind me sharing, but her son is getting married, and his rehearsal is gonna be at the church where she and her husband got married.
Hmm.
And it's because he's getting married outdoors somewhere, they had to find a church to practice in. And she still has her Laura Ashley
Oh, that's
rehearsal dinner
amazing.
dress from her wedding,
Oh
and
my
she
goodness.
is pulling that thing out and is gonna wear it to his rehearsal.
Oh, that's sweet.
And she is super stylish, so I know that she's gonna look great at it. I haven't
Wow.
seen it, but I thought that was a cool story.
That is really cool.
Oh.
But some things
Yes.
are just timeless, some
Mhm.
Yeah.
things
Well,
you can get away with at 35 years later.
I still wish I had
yeah.
this Laura Ashley jean dress that in Abigail's teenage years, she just was mortified that I would wear that. And so I finally broke down and got rid of it, even though I'd had it since Davis was a baby. I still remember the mall I bought it in. But I wish I still had that, because I think now that Abigail's not out of her teenage years, she would have been fine with me wearing it. And so I should have just kept it around. But sometimes you listen to your teenagers, you're like, oh my goodness, all right, if they've told me this is done, then I guess I'm behind the times. But I do think a lot of those classic things do come back.
Yeah.
I think they do. And I just read something about, like, as soon as you get an adult job, there's certain things you should do. And one of them was buying less in terms of clothing, but buying more expensive pieces, or pieces that were more timeless or classic. That there were certain pieces that you would need to just filter in and out. And I appreciated that comment. Buying less, but maybe spending more on those things so that they lasted a lot longer. But the other thing is, Maria, I was going to say, you could always check Poshmark for that denim dress. You might find it again.
That is true. Yeah.
Because that was me with this Gap long denim skirt that I had when, like, Abby and Grant were little itty bitties. And it just had this front center slit up, like, to the knees. I wore that thing all the time. The only reason I got rid of it is because I ended up losing weight later. And so that was a major changeover for my wardrobe. And so now the clothes that I have were from when I lost weight at like 36. Now I've had all those clothes for a long time because I had to overhaul everything. But I have just recently found a skirt that I love that matches that Gap denim skirt. I found it at Madewell last year. I'm going to have this denim skirt forever. I will never get rid of it. It's long. It's got the front center slit. And I'm like, I know this is me. Like, I don't care if it goes out of style. This is Mindy style.
Right.
I know that we're talking in this podcast about how we want to repeat our outfits and we want to, use things up. But one of the things that has been a little discouraging to me is that it seems like it's sometimes harder and harder to feel good about replacing a product because they're made to be temporary. So I'm thinking particularly of appliances. So like when my washer broke last year, I didn't even think about calling a repairman. It was cheaper for me to say, okay, I've gotten 8 years out of this washer. It would be more expensive for me to have a repairman to come out and try to fix it than it would be for me to buy a brand new one. My parents' refrigerator broke a couple months ago, and the guys came out to look at it. It was only a year old. And he said, the motherboard is gone on this. He goes, it would actually be cheaper for you to just go ahead and buy a new refrigerator. This is a 1-year-old appliance that
my goodness,
ended up in the landfill. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they make things so cheaply. Like, we can, if you're talking about just like overconsumption and like creation of garbage, one refrigerator is going to be way more than Mindy's little sweaters.
Exactly.
But have you guys had things where you would have been happy to keep it or get it repaired, but it was more cost effective to just get rid of it?
Yeah, I know when my mom just replaced her washer and dryer that were 20 plus years old. They might have even been 25. And they actually still worked. They just had some issues. And so she decided to replace them. And I was talking to the guy about, because I may get these kind when mine wear out. And he said, yeah, about 8 years is all you can expect out of these. And I thought that was so disappointing. Like, 8 years is nothing for a washer and dryer. It almost seems like they're made to be disposable. And we've had that with printers. I feel like a printer is a disposable item. Because I can't tell you how many we've had. I don't even know if I'll buy another printer when this one goes. And a shredder, the motor went out, just buy a new one, it's just gone. I was thinking about furniture repair people and upholsterers. They're kind of a dying breed. Like, I had to have some furniture repaired when we moved. It's really hard to find somebody. And like upholsterers, if you notice, they're typically very old men.
Oh,
they're just a dying breed. And it's just, I don't know. It's just hard to find repairmen. Like, I can remember little appliance stores where you'd just go in and you'd see toasters and radios and things stacked up. And My son had an MP3 player that was encased in a really pretty handmade wooden box, like to look like an old radio. Well, it quit working. Like there's some short in it. Well, there's no. I said, "Oh, just take it down to an appliance store to get it repaired." And he kind of looked at me like, "Where are those?" And we've
Mhm.
never been able to get it repaired. I'm sure it's just that part just needs to be thrown away and something else needs to be inserted into
Mm,
the box. But
Mhm.
it's kind of disappointing.
right. I mean, can you imagine having your sneakers resoled,
No.
Marie?
No.
Oh, John resold all of his shoes. No, not tennis shoes, but like nice dress
Sure.
shoes. Yeah,
Yeah, the dress shoes. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure that's a dying breed too. People that resole
I
shoes.
know.
I guess I
Or
could
getting your
Google it, but
watch repaired. I mean, I know that some people have sentimental watches,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but I mean, that's even something that you really don't hear about.
I mean, watches can be so cheap. I mean, these are cheap watches, but like
Mhm.
sometimes, like if your $15 watch you bought for your kid at camp breaks, I'm just going to order another one rather than drive over to Batteries Plus, spend $5 for a battery. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
know.
sometimes it's like, just order another one and it's $10. I'm not, it's
Right.
just, that's the attitude of, and that's only just replacing a battery. If the thing broke, I don't know who would replace it. But you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we
Exactly.
just are so disposable because
Mhm.
it's not easy to repair
Yeah.
something.
It's hard. It's a lot harder to actually repair something than just buy it.
Or
Mhm.
it's not made well enough to warrant
Mhm.
a new sole. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if
Mhm.
you had paid 2 or $300 for a pair of nice fine leather shoes, then yes, you could probably get 2 or
Yes.
3 soles on those. But some
Right.
things are just made so cheaply to begin with. I don't know if they'd really last that much longer if
Right.
you repaired it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I don't know. I wouldn't have a solution for that, but
No.
it is a true fact. Okay, but we do want to think about what is appropriate materialism because we're all out there in the world and we all have to make decisions on what to buy and what not to buy. So, how do we decide what is appropriate?
Well, I think Mindy's already kind of alluded to this, just to think more thoughtfully about purchases, and for me, maybe quality over quantity. I do that with clothes. I think about, like, how I take care of things, like, John really taught me this. This was something he really, really, really believed in because I don't think he had a lot growing up or a lot of nice things, and he knew if he wanted nice things, it was gonna be on him to buy them. So then he wanted to take care of them because when
Mhm.
something breaks, you don't just throw it away and you didn't have to buy another one, he wanted to
Right.
keep it. And so I recently just sold our 2010 SUV and it looked brand new.
Mm.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was more him than me, but but I am trying to, think of that, like, think of things as t in terms of investments and retaining their value, holding on to their value because
Right.
I actually sold it for quite a bit of money because it really did look brand new.
Mhm.
Um, and so he was that way with home repairs and everything, and, I don't know, I just think that's wise to
Yeah.
think about keeping things nice, being a good steward of what you've been given, whatever it
Right.
is, however little or however much it is.
Right.
And then with smaller things, cheaper things like personal products. Right now, I am really trying to just use everything up
Mm.
before I buy it. And this is kind of an embarrassing confession, but John was a stockpiler. He wasn't a
Mhm.
hoarder, but he didn't want to run out of things. So there's a drawer of his deodorant.
Mm.
I have not bought deodorant in 2 years, y'all. I'm gonna use all of his deodorant. No, he didn't use, some, like,
Manly
with
scent.
some manly yeah, it's just very clean and fresh, so, I don't think anybody could tell that it was a
I
men's
haven't
deodorant.
been able to tell, Julie.
Okay, good. It's not Old Spice or anything like that.
Hey.
But, I'm looking like, when I moved, I thought, "Gosh, I have a lot of
Yeah.
shampoo. I have a lot of hair products. I have a lot of lotions." So, I am really trying to just use it all up. It's kind of been a game to me, like, how minimal can I have under my bathroom cabinets?
Right.
Um, and then just buying what I need.
Mhm.
Right. I would say I think there's some natural boundaries for having the right type of or the right amount of consumption of products or items. I mean, your space, that's gonna limit you. Um, and
Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, for some people, you don't wanna have to have a path, to walk through your house. So I think your space will be a natural limiter, but your budget is another limiter. Your mental health is maybe not quite as visual as those other two things, but how it makes you feel. Again, stuff brings stress. You have to take care of it. You have to do something with it, whether it's putting it away or taking care of it, repairing it, or getting rid of it. But it requires this physical act. And so I think that there's a couple of ways you can kind of test yourself with boundaries. If it's bringing stress at all, then yeah, maybe reassess where you're at.
Even with all those good ideas, we still...
Some things are just fun.
We still fall into overconsumption. Like, we can know what we should be doing. I think that's the pull of social media, is it pulls you in ways that you shouldn't go. You shouldn't buy that. And that just shows you the power behind advertising. And that was true even before social media. I mean, we grew up in the age of commercials, where someone was selling a car and they had a beautiful woman on it, or they're selling toothpaste and they're two couples in love in the bathroom. Like, they're always trying to sell happiness if you buy this product, beauty if you buy this product, success if you buy this product. But it wasn't 24 hours a day in our face. And so maybe we were a little bit better at resisting it. Also, like you said, Mindy, you couldn't just go on your phone and click it. You had to get in your car. You had to go to it. Your local store may not carry that product. Like, there were barriers. Now there are no barriers. The only barrier is your own self-control, because the credit card will let you buy it. The phone will let you buy it. Any country will ship it to you. Like, there are no barriers.
That's right.
Right. It makes me think of the old phrase, keeping up with the Joneses, except now, true, we did have magazines and television ads, but now it looks as if everyone in the world has these things, normal people, everybody, like all your, people all across the world, whereas it used to just be your little neighbors and the people you came face to face with. So it just is more normalized now, I think, to believe that everyone has this stuff and they're always buying and acquiring.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about what we personally do to combat overconsumption. Because even though we may buy the extra sweater or the extra pair of shoes or the extra raincoat, I know you two, and you know me, and we all know about each other that we are trying to be thoughtful. There are things that we say no to. So how do you have the conversation in your head when you decide to say no versus when you decide to say yes?
I have a constant return pile. No.
I do too, Mindy. That is true. I didn't even think about that for tips, but I will sometimes buy something that I think I want and I won't take the tags off it. And I'll just leave it. I know Target, I have 4 months to return it because I have the red card. So if I haven't gone over there and taken the tags off in 4 months, then I'll return it.
Time to go back.
That could be one way.
Yeah, I've backed it up a step because I absolutely hate returning things.
Okay.
So I'll put it in my online cart or put it on a wish list.
Okay.
And then I don't buy it. And that's kind of like enough for me sometimes, because then I'll look back and I usually don't buy it. I rarely buy it, or I put them in a cart to save, to, maybe to look at and see if I actually find this in real life. Oh, I've been looking for this or whatever. But I just try to go into it with, I don't need any of this. This is purely a want. And then is this justified? Should I be doing this? Is this wise? And most of the time the answer is no.
Right.
Okay, here's something that happened to me this morning, preparing for this episode. Yesterday, Julie and I, we both went to a garden luncheon, and we made these big pots of flowers that we got to bring home. And I still had my pot from last year, and they let you take extra plants. So I made 2 identical pots. And I put the one on the plant stand that I had last year. And then I was like, well, what can I put the other one on? So I had this plant stand that I wasn't using in the garage. But the reason it was in the garage was because when I had it in the house and a plant on it, it fell over and cracked one of my vent returns in the floor because it only has 3 legs. I mean, it's made to have 3 legs. It's made to have 3 legs, and I didn't realize that that's really not very stable for a heavy plant. So I put it in the garage. So I got it out yesterday just to put the pots on to see, okay, how do I like this? But then I thought, that 3-legged plant stand is an accident waiting to happen. Like, my pot is going to fall over. So I get on Amazon because it's so easy to shop, and I start looking at plant stands. And I am bound and determined to find them. And I'm thinking the whole time, we're going to be talking overconsumption. Do I need plant stands? I really do, because that plant is an accident waiting to happen. And then also, these plant stands, they're kind of short. Like, I really could use some higher plant stands. Like, these are 30 inches on here, and mine are like around 20. So I'd gain 10 inches of height, and I would gain stability, and they would match. I mean, these seem like really good reasons. And also, I will have those pots out there from April until October. And I'll put them out there again next year, too, because I'm planning on going to the garden luncheon. So, like, this is all going through my mind. And I wish I could tell you that I did not buy the plant stands, but I did. So I'm saying,
I don't see why you wouldn't. I talked into it. I'm gonna
because I'm going to use them. But I'm just saying, I'm giving an example of what goes through my mind with a lot of purchases. And sometimes I say yes, and sometimes I say no. And it's funny because as I put those plant stands in my Amazon cart, it said 6 things. And I'm really only ordering 2. So I go to check out, and there's a rug I had in there. Save for later.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something else I had in there that I thought about buying. I didn't pull the trigger on that. So I did say no to some things that I had originally thought about.
Yeah.
But these are the mental gymnastics. Am I the only one going through this?
Oh, no, I always hit the save for later, and then I can justify, like, well, if I'm going to buy this, I'll knock these 2 things out of the cart. Yeah, like, it's all...
And do you notice, like, there's some things that are easier for you to buy than other things? Like, I think I'm using the jankiest sports bra for ever and ever. Why can't I buy a new sports bra? I've got a million new sweaters.
That's true.
And then we've talked about how you want to have the right tool for the right job. And so you really do need to spend money on certain things to make your life easier. But like, why can't I buy a new Tupperware lid for that container? But
right. Yeah.
But I have a new coffee cup over here, Yeah.
Well, my plant stand that I currently have is not the right tool for the right job. It already proved itself to be unstable.
Right. Sounds dangerous.
It does. It does. I don't know what took you so long.
Now sell that. I'll see it on Marketplace today, right? Wonderful plant stand.
I am getting overnight delivery, Julie. It's going to take me a minute to put them together.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was going to drive by and look.
I mean, it's terrible. Okay, we're just awful. We're awful people. I learned nothing from this overconsumption episode. But we're all trying.
Do you know what I feel better about when I have a haul? My haul, if I'm out in person getting this haul, I walk right back to my minivan that has been paid off for years and years and years, and I feel all kinds of better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
It is true.
And then I put all my haul back in my minivan, and I go and return it all again.
I know. One of my I'm a fan this year's was the fact that Target offers drive-up returns now. And I was a literal I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
I just used it yesterday.
Abby was telling me about that the other day. She loves it.
So anyways, all right, listeners, we would love to hear about your overconsumption. Please make us feel better. Tell us what you would be trailing behind yourself. Come and find us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast or email us at midlifematterspodcast@gmail.com.
You know what else? One thing I'd love to see too is a picture of you in an outfit and you tell me how old it is.
Oh.
Okay. Listeners, we'd love to see that.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you too.
Okay.
I mean, I'm wearing a very old outfit right now as we record.
Well, maybe something like dressy
Yes.
is what I mean.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like my wedding dress?
Okay, listeners, we would love to see a picture. I mean, that would be really cool, especially if you still look good in it. That'd be awesome. That's
Yeah. Yeah, I meant to say that. If it's still a good thing.
Right.
Got it.
Okay. All right, let's go into I'm a fan. All right, Julie, what are you a fan of this week?
All right, I'm a fan of a new TV show, and it's called Miss Austen.
Okay.
And this year is the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birthday. And this is a series on Masterpiece. And so I'm watching it as the episodes come out. So I'm not able to binge it. But it is really, really good. And it has the actress who plays Cassandra Austen, who is Jane Austen's sister, is played by Keely Hawes.
No.
And she was the mom in the Durrells in Corfu. Did you watch that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love her. She is just one of my favorites. And so the story is apparent. I didn't know this, but Cassandra, her sister, destroyed over 300 letters that were correspondence between Jane Austen and a friend. Her sister actually goes to this friend's house and gets these letters and burns them and destroys them because she wanted to protect Jane's privacy. So the story is Cassandra reading these letters, and then it's flashbacks to when Jane was actually living this life.
Wow.
So it's really, really good.
That is fascinating.
So obviously, most of the letters were destroyed, but she saved 130 letters, and then those were distributed like to family and friends.
Oh,
wow.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Boy, if we could only see what were in the other letters.
Wow.
All right, Mindy, what are you a fan of this week?
I am a fan of my Mother's Day gifts that I got this year from my family. And it brought me so much joy, and they will continue to bring me joy. So I feel like my family just knows me so well. So my kids got me succulents, which multiple kids, they didn't know what each other was getting me. And I got multiple succulents, which I love to have those in my house. And then Bryce did something last year that he wants to do every year for me because it brought me so much joy. We have a berm out front in our front yard that he redoes every Mother's Day.
Oh, that's nice.
So then I get to enjoy the berm, a whole berm of plants and flowers from May until they die out.
Yeah, that's cool.
November here sometimes?
Yeah.
So there's some evergreens in the berm, but it's mainly perennial annuals. And it is just beautiful. And so I will enjoy all of those living things forever, and until they're gone. I'm just so thankful for that. And it's my favorite thing right now and will be my favorite thing until they're gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's neat. The gift that keeps on giving.
They really do. That's the best kind of flowers are in the yard.
Yeah, you can keep on enjoying those for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this week I'm a fan of a TV show that I was actually a fan of, I think 5 years ago or so, whenever we started this podcast. But my daughter is home for a month before she goes off to work at her summer camp. And she was like, I wish we had a show that we could watch. And I was trying to think of something we could watch together. And then I thought of Turn, which Turn is about Washington spies in the Revolutionary War. So a Long Island farmer bands together a group of childhood friends to form an unlikely group of spies who turn the tide in America's fight for independence. And it's based on true events. And we are really enjoying watching that together. And it has 4 seasons. So it's kind of perfect because I think we will be able to finish it in a month. And we kind of have to watch it at some odd times. We have to work around her work schedule and stuff. But it's so fun to have a show that you're watching together. So if your college student has come home and said, wish we had a show to watch together, you might want to watch Turn together because when I mentioned to my older daughter that we were watching it, my older daughter, she's like, oh my goodness, that's one of my favorites. And then Steve was like, oh, I forgot about that. I loved it too. So I think people really do enjoy it. It's just not one that you hear talked about a lot.
I've watched that twice. I love that.
I've never watched this. I'm writing it down right now.
All right. I will just say that it's kind of ironic that I'm bringing it up in the overconsumption. So, I mean, I can't be the only one frustrated with this. I want to watch this good series. They show you the first episode for free on Amazon Prime, and then you have to purchase something. So, and Amazon makes it so stinking easy because you want to watch the second. And so to push play, all you have to do is say, yes, I want to start my 7-day free trial and be charged $10.99 a month after that. And I do want to watch it. So I clicked it, the over-consuming person that I am. And I thought, all right, I'm going to, for $10, it's a month's long worth of entertainment for Lauren and I. It's perfectly justified, but the thing you have to remember is to cancel. So that you don't pay for the next 12 months, which that's what they're
service
hoping.
Is it?
It's AMC.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to sign up for AMC for a month, but for me, that's worth it. But it was kind of ironic that you do have to purchase something in order to watch it.
But it's so frustrating. That's an old series. Like, why are they charging for something so old?
Yeah, because people are paying for it.
I know, because Marie's clicking, yes, I want to do that.
My college son is home right now, and if I could bribe him with a show like that to sit in the living room with me and watch it, I would pay money.
Yeah.
Well, it would be a good guy show.
Because pretty much what I'm hearing is it's like 8:30 at night. He's like, what are we doing? I'm like, we're doing it.
We're sitting here.
This is what we do, and I'm about to go to bed.
Did you notice that I'm wearing my old tank top and sweatshirt that I wear at the end of the day? Did you forget about my end of the day outfit?
Hello. You guys are so boring.
Suggest turn to him because you guys might enjoy it as a family. I would suggest that anyone's trying it, give it one whole episode.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. I appreciate that.
All right, Mindy and Julie. I know that we're going to try to be more mindful and we'll hold each other accountable.
All right.
To the best of our ability.
Or we'll just keep quiet about it all.
That's right.
Okay. Well, we'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Sounds great. Bye.
We're so happy you joined us today. You can find the show notes for this episode at midlifematterspodcast.com. Also, please tell a friend about the show and help them hit the free subscribe button on their favorite podcast app. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Midlife Matters Podcast. That's where we post pictures and stories about all the things we talk about in each episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.